Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my beloved sisters. This is Sayyida Al Salaam with you. I'm a certified Australian Muslimah counselor, and we gather today. Our shared destination is the blessed horizon of Ramadan. But I want to speak directly to the reality of your journey here. You are not here by accident. A deep God placed longing has drawn you, a desire to meet Ramadan differently, to truly connect. But I also know you did not come here from a place of perfect peace. You did not step out of a perfectly curated life into this space. Some of you came here carrying a heavy silence after a difficult word with your husband. Some of you are carrying the fresh grief of loss or the very chronic ache of a marriage that has grown cold. Some of you are facing financial fears that haunt your nights or the profound sorrow of a child who is distant, either in miles or in heart. Some of you are navigating life as a widow, feeling unseen in a world built for pairs, or carrying the painful weight of a divorce you never wanted. You have come here with a heart that are in some ways broken, tired, weighed down. And the greatest trick of Shaitan at this moment is to whisper, fix yourself first, heal your heart, solve your problems, and then come to Ramadan. Then you'll be worthy of its gifts. These are the whispers of the Shaitan. My dear sisters, I'm here to tell you that this is a lie. This is a complete lie, a shaitanic lie. You do not need to fix your heart to bring it to Ramadan. You need to bring your broken heart to Ramadan to be fixed by its maker. Our work in these 5 weeks is not spiritual bypassing. It is not about painting a um, beautiful tape over the cracks. It's over learning how to take the very broken pieces, the grief, the anxiety, the loneliness, the disappointment, and to lift them up, to present this fractured vessel of our heart to Al Jabbar, the mender of broken hearts, to say, Ya Allah, this is what I have to work with. This is the raw material of my life. Teach me how to worship you from this place, not in spite of it. Let us center ourselves. Close your eyes. If you are comfortable, place one hand over your heart. Feel its beat, its life, its perhaps tender ache. Breathe into that space. Our dua today is simple. Ya Allah, you see the reality of my heart. I bring it to you now as it is. Accept me. Now, let me share with you two stories of hearts that came to Ramadan not as trophies but as fractured offering. First, meet Sister Aisha, the pillar of her community, but in her home, a wall of silence had grown between her and her husband. They were civil, but the connection was gone. Every Ramadan, she thought, maybe the blessings of the month will fix us. She would perform extra prayers, hoping for a divine intervention in her marriage. When it didn't happen by the 27th night, she would feel a crushing sense of failure. As a Muslimah and as a wife, her worship was a frantic bargain with Allah, not a communion. Her heart wasn't just tired, it was heartbroken. She was trying to use worship as a tool to fix her life, and when it didn't work, she felt abandoned. Now consider Sister Fatima, a young widow. The first Ramadan after her husband passing felt like a cruel joke. The iftar table was silent, the nights were long. She would force herself to read Quran, but the words blurred through tears. She felt guilty for her sadness, believing a good believer, a good mu'minah, should find only comfort in worship. So she had hid her grief behind a perfect routine, creating a spiritual performance that was hollow. Her heart wasn't disconnected, it was shattered, and she believed her brokenness disqualified her from the sweetness of faith. Why do we feel we must hide our fractures? Islamic psychology teaches us about the state of istiqama, steadfastness. We mistakenly believe it means standing straight and tall like an unbroken pillar. But sometimes istiqama is the courage to remain leaning on Allah when you cannot stand on your own. Sister Aisha's pattern was one of the transactional worship. Her inner equation was if I pray X rakats, then Allah must fix my marriage. This turns Allah into a vending machine. Na'uzubillah. May Allah forgive how it was compared, but I was just trying to bring out a metaphor. And it reduces our relationship to a contract. It leads to despair when our desired outcome isn't delivered. But what if her worship was reframed? What if in her sujood, instead of presenting a list of demands, she simply poured out her loneliness? Ya Allah, Ya Sami, the all hearing, you hear the silence in my home. I place this heavy silence in your care. My act of worship today is to endure this hardship with patience for your sake. Here, the broken heart becomes the worship. Sister Fatima's pain was compounded by spiritual guilt. She believed her grief was opposite to fate. But look at the prophets. Yaqub alayhi salam wept until he lost his eyesight. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi salam wept bitterly for his son Ibrahim. Their grief did not negate their faith. It was an expression of heart alive with love offered to Allah. Allah Azawajal, Allah Ya Afu, Wali, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Fatima's tears were not a barrier to Ramadan. They were her most sincere preparation. Her act of worship could be to sit with her tears and say, Ya Ar Rahman, this pain is a testament to the love you allowed me to feel. I surrender this emptiness to you to fill as you will. Your specific struggle, be it a marital strife, financial fear, or a child's distance, is not a distraction from your path to Allah. It is the path. It is the very terrain you must cross. Your ibadah this Ramadan will not be about escaping this reality, but about infusing it with God consciousness. So, what is our first practical step? It is the sacred, compassionate audit, muhasabah, but from a place of radical acceptance. I want you to imagine your heart as a beautiful but cracked ceramic bowl. It holds water, but it also leaks. The cracks have names: anxiety over debts, loneliness in marriage, fear of for my child. Your task is not to instantly seal the cracks. Your task is to acknowledge them to the one who shaped the bowl. In your journal, finish the sentence. You need to identify the primary crack. The heaviest burden I am carrying into Ramadan is the pain of whatever the pain that you are dealing with. Now, write a short letter to Allah. Do not ask for the burden to be removed yet. Simply describe it. Ya Allah, my heart is heavy because every day I face the tension in my home. It makes me feel unloved and afraid. I'm bringing this specific ache to you as my preparation. Now write one sentence to reframe that, okay? Write one sentence that reframes this burden as a point of need. Now you can write like, because I feel so financially desperate, my need for you, Ar-Razaq, the provider, is absolute. This exercise does not solve your problems. Now I don't want you thinking that, okay, Sister Sayyida, we have done this exercise. I don't see my problems being solved. No, no, this exercise does not solve your problem. It validates your struggle. It moves it from being a hidden shame to being a presented reality. This is the essence of tawakkul. It begins with acknowledging the true weight of what you are handing over. This year, we are not preparing for a perfect Ramadan. We are preparing for a real one, a Ramadan where your sujood may be wet with tears for your lost loved ones. A Ramadan where your dua during tahajjud is a raw whisper about your failing marriage. A Ramadan where your act of patience with difficult relative is your most prized night of a worship. Your broken heart is not your disqualification. It is your qualification. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whenever a Muslim is afflicted with a hardship, even a thorn prick, Allah will remove his sins for it. So your hardship is already a means of purification. Now we learn to consciously offer it. You're not coming to a banquet empty handed. You're bringing the most valuable offering you have, your sincere, needy, dependent heart. Let us close by making a collective intention silently in the deepest chamber of your heart. Invite Allah to see your brokenness. Now let us recite together the dua of those in need, the words of Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam. Anni masayna zurru wa anta arrahmur rahimin. Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful. So I need you to complete the broken bowl letter and keep it private. Let it be your first raw act of preparation, not fixing but presenting. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I see you in our next Islamic talk of our series, Entering Ramadan with Empty Hearts and a Heavy Heart.